I know there's going to be several comments our side of the aisle today, but I wanted to lead off, and I wanted to say that Senator Valdez truly has mastered the art of being a statesman, which is kind of a rare commodity these days. He can figure out how to disagree on a topic without being disagreeable while doing so. I know a topic that's dear to your heart. A lot of things I've run past him on this bill. He told me he doesn't think are a good idea. We've discussed. One of the things that he did provide was, in committee, was an amendment to exempt concealed weapons carry holders from this bill. That's huge all by itself. Matter of fact, his accommodating that and realizing that, accepting that, gets me right to the edge of where I almost would have voted for the bill. I have to tell you, the Senator Valdez, everything he just said is right. He's spot on. He's absolutely right. The point is that everything he talked about are unlawful gun owners. Lawful gun owners are not the problem. So asking us to believe that the people that we don't want to have guns or be in those locations will honor a sign or honor a law, I think we kind of have been battle-hardened enough, all of us at this point, to realize that's not the case. We used to have a joke on the police department years ago, and I think it's still true today. It's always been true. It's say, geez, if we ever outlaw crime, we're going to be out of a job. You know, you look at this. This is one of those things to where we're looking at something that we're attempting to outlaw, and yet people aren't honoring the current laws that exist. And so we're attempting to make something that's currently illegal even more illegal. I'm lost in the fall here sometimes. Another point here that sends me the other direction on this is that we've had for years a state preemption on firearms laws. And there's a reason for that. It's because you don't want to create a patchwork quilt where just a regular guy that's carrying a gun for legitimate purposes can walk through several different areas and be violation of the law, okay, violation of the law, okay. And that's just not within one jurisdiction, but each municipality here has the authority to determine which specific areas this law applies to within their jurisdiction, so it's even consistent between the several jurisdictions. This is truly a patchwork quilt that's almost unwieldy, science being held aside. Survivors of crimes want the right to protect themselves. Without being cute about it, one of the only equalizers against a woman and maybe her attacker out there is carrying a firearm. So probably the groups having these firearms are not going to leave them home, the ones that need them. What they'll end up doing if they see an area like this, being law-abiding and legitimate gun carriers, they'll probably lock them up in their car. Well, that's problematic by itself, in that how many guns you want to be stolen out of a car that go from a legitimate gun holder to somebody that's illegitimate, or the fact that somebody might see them taking this on or taking off or putting it on. I mean, these things are just, it's problematic to conceal carry of a weapon. Disarming citizens does not enhance safety, never has, never will. We're trying to do the right thing here and focus on the areas that we think are going to make a difference. And yet, as has already been discussed during the proposed amendments, that gun-free zones sometimes attract people out there that know there's no resistance, there's no consequence. It's just human nature to do that. Why would you go someplace that there is a consequence when you behave badly and there is no consequence? Nothing is immediate. The part that really bothers me about this is we've got a pattern over the last several years, trying to find out with the Heller decision and the Bruen decision and some of the things out there that are just on the very skinny edge of what's allowable for gun control, and we keep nosing into that. We find that maybe in this case, I believe it's a Wolfrace case, I'm sure Senator Peterson will correct me if I'm wrong on this, versus Lopez in the 9th Division that allows several areas to be carved out that are legitimate areas that guns can be prohibited from. Yet we also have an existing precedent from the Second Circuit out there that I think is conflict with this. So doing something in this indeterminate time when you have circuit courts out there that are in conflict is pretty much guarantees sooner or later there's going to be a SCOTUS review of this. that happens, what we're doing might be premature as we speak here. There's way too many unknowns out here, way too many consequences of this. The intentions are noble. I understand that. And absolutely honor Senator Valdez's intent in trying to do this, but just the outcome on this and all the unintended consequences here reluctantly will bring me to a no vote.